Why, hello, everybody. It is your friend Bill who needs a new camera. I've been told many times, actually, new lighting. I get it. I get it. I used to do this show in a WeWork, bro. So bear with me. We're elevating. Used to be in a WeWork. Now we're in a little cool studio with a nice sign that says late night. So, yes, I have to get some better lighting, but whatever. Whatever. Soon. Anyways, hi, everyone. Bill, back at it. We do the show Monday through Thursday, noon PST. Like clockwork. We basically talk about what's going on in this wonderful world we call crypto. Mostly. I mean, I used to do just only like non-crypto, and then I realized no one really give a fuck. Most people like crypto. But I talk to everybody. If you don't have a token, please come to my show. I don't care. I want to talk to them all. So we talk about projects across every chain. And today I'm really excited for this one. This one's going to be a good one. In case you've been watching me the last few days on X, I've been bold posting about one coin, and and no one's paying me anything to say this. I told everyone here 3 days ago, I think, I have max conviction on one project so far in this space, and that is Prism. I said to you guys, this is insane. And the reason why I went through it, I made a video, whatever. It's very hard to understand. I like that. I've learned something about this space. The less people understand, the more bullish it is. That means only smart people understand it, and it takes time to dive in. Kind of separates, a lot of the degens, which is great. I've realized I'm terrible at memes. I can call some, but I'm terrible at it. Sophisticated projects, though, okay, let's dive in. And then when I started clicking, I was like, damn, this is a game changer. So I had to get Colby on from Prism. We're going to talk all about that. Prism, Spectrum. So yes, we're going to do that, but we also going to bring up Matthew from Switchboard, and I'm excited to talk tech on Solana. So I'll get this out of the way because this is the only way I get paid. This episode and all the episodes brought to you in August are brought to you by Easy A Kickstart. If you are looking to launch an AI tech project on Solana, there's no better place than Easy A. Easy A has brought the best founders together under one roof. They come from the traditional world of Kwok Brothers, and they've raised billions of dollars for projects, bringing it on chain, a new way of financing, and some of the best tech builders on Solana are on Easy A. Solana used to just be a DJ and casino, not anymore. They're bringing in good projects. So check out Easy A today. Two more shout outs we got to make sure before we bring Colby on. Once again, that's the only way I get paid, baby. No, I love all my supporting sponsors because they're all good. So first and foremost, Banker. Most people know what Banker is. They're the agentic tooling on Base. They provide the infrastructure for AI agents to operate autonomously. Banker is where builders launch agentic businesses, raise from the market, and reach their audience. They're also on Robinhood, and they've now working with SushiSwap, creating, if you want to launch a meme or something, they're integrating with SushiSwap. So check out Banker. Two more, DTF, tokenized stocks, billion-dollar trading industry. What if you earn from that volume? That's ETF, a treasury, the world's most valuable companies, compounding every time a stock trades on chain. Hold it. You're exposed to that growth. Stake it. Get paid stocks in every hour with one staker winning the premium prize. Tens of thousands paid out to stakers. RWAs are moving on chain. DTF is how you get paid. And last but not least, we got Buildify. They are a launchpad with no token. They're multi-chain. They're coming to base very soon. It's a very tough game, this LP game, but launchpad game, but they're out here. They're trying. They're building. They have my respect. No bonding curve, locked LP. Builders earn ETH from trading fees, not token allocations. Check out Buildify. All right. With that out of the way, it's time. It's time. And we got 261. We need at least 2,000 for this show, especially with Colby on. Come on, guys. We got to show the ETH OGs what we're doing. The one, the only, Colby from Prism. How you doing today, sir?
Hello, Bill. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on. And may I just say, I think you have the catchiest intro in the whole podcast, the on-chain podcast space. That was gold. That was really good. You had me bopping.
Hey, that is all I want to hear. You made my day. We could end the episode right now, Colby. I'll take my flowers, move on. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, no, I thank you. I always want to make an intro that's interesting. I found it pretty cool, so hopefully, I'm glad you did as well. But
it's good.
Listen, Colby.
Yeah.
All right, so let's chat. We have a bunch of people in the audience, Capo staff. Shout out to all you guys. Okay, I love Prism. I understand I'm Prism pilled, but there are going to be many people, especially once we push this on Spotify and maybe not as deep crypto, that have no idea what Prism is. Why don't we start with the very beginning? What exactly is Prism?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the perfect fit for the pod then, if you want to really distill it down, because Prism is all about taking complex technology and making it easy for people, right? Making applications that effectively feel like magic. That's the whole goal of the ecosystem and the builders on it. What Prism is in a nutshell, it was kind of an ambitious, early hook project where you take a token that is 5,000 Prism, you put them in a liquidity pool, and anyone who buys them out of that pool, it locks the ETH in that pool, right? And the goal was, how do we use hooks to distribute all the fees from swaps and liquidity back to holders, right? So it's kind of like protocol owned liquidity that distributes all of that revenue and fees back to holders just instantaneously, permissionlessly. Anyone can, who owns a whole Prism can go claim their fees on the Prism mothership site, and it's kind of magic. And that was launched by this random developer. It wasn't us. We're just a sort of community contributor who kind of found it in June and became enamored by the whole thing because, yeah, it was, first of all, a new novel way of doing hooks. I mean, up until Prism, I kind of felt like some of the hook things were a bit more, I don't know, touching the surface of what could happen, right? And then along comes this random developer, anonymous, much like a crypto, kind of origin story. And we found it and decided, you know what, let's actually try and build on this ecosystem in the decentralized spirit. So Prism really just started as that. What if we try and do protocol and liquidity with hooks where all the fees can get distributed to holders? And it's kind of grown from there.
So let's break it down with the keyword hooks, because in this cycle, and not in any other cycle, has the word hooks even been mentioned. But in 2026, hooks is on the top of everyone's mind. I would say 98% of people have zero idea what a hook is. Break it down.
Indeed.
What exactly,
Yeah,
when someone is referencing
absolutely.
a hook, what are they talking about?
So hooks are something that Uniswap created, right? So for anyone who doesn't know Uniswap, they're the leading decentralized exchange. They basically pioneered liquidity pools, right? And they've had 4 versions of the core infrastructure. Version 1 was very simple, buy and swap. Version 2 created this more dynamic liquidity pools. Version 3 expanded on it. And version 4 was arguably the strongest kind of financial app store moment for DeFi, right? But hilariously and sort of, ironically, this launched last year, but completely went under the radar. And the reason was because Uniswap had a whitelisted system for hooks in the beginning. So you had to be a sort of partner of Uniswap in order to use this. I believe it was for a security perspective. They needed time to make sure it was, correctly set up. But it's literally magic, because what it does is, instead of doing a buy and sell traditionally, it allows a developer to sort of put in custom logic, a little bit like if this, and then, where, if I buy this thing, then do this, and then the outcome. Whereas before hooks, it was literally, I put something in and I get something out. So imagine it's a bit like an app store on an iPhone where, all of a sudden you have the infrastructure and then anyone can build on top of it and kind of use all of this, years of decentralized finance that's been built by Uniswap and other teams. And in the very early days, hooks were just, I don't know, in my biased opinion, a little bit sort of just plain. I think the first innovator was Punk Strategy, actually, in using hooks. And that was way back in October 2025. And then I think it was because of, the sort of quasi bear market we've had, where the demand for innovation on chain just dwindled. And it was only until maybe in the last 3 months that hooks really started appearing again. Firstly, in this season was sort of the Unipeg, and like, if I buy a token, I get an NFT. And then stuff like Prism has come along, which have sort of tried to make it more advanced. And really how Prism uses a hook is, it's literally, when I buy this token, deposit, my assets into the liquidity pool and mint me a fee sharing NFT. And you earn basically from the swap fees, fees from every time someone's buying and selling in the pool for everyone who holds one whole Prism. So it's doing a lot of sort of complexity, but for the user, it's just as simple as buying a token, and everything works behind the scenes. So that's what a hook is in a nutshell.
So from a developer's point of view, what is the advantages of wanting to build on V4? Obviously, from a holder's point of view, it's great. You're getting this income coming in, these fees coming in. It's fantastic. But from a developer's point of view, that fees are no longer routed to them. It's routed to the holder. Why would a developer want to build on V4?
Yeah, so the thing is, it doesn't need to be routed to the holder. Like, the nice thing is, you get to set as a developer all the custom logic. So you can do a fee percentage to yourself. You can do some to a holder. You can have no fees. I would say the biggest incentive, obviously, for a builder is, of course, creating a product and creating value. But what hooks really allow a developer to do is just package convenience into the flow. Whereas a user in DeFi, first of all, it was never easy. Let's be honest. Doing anything, making adding liquidity to a pool, or like getting into a yield bearing vault or whatever. Like realistically, for anyone outside of this space who's not spending their waking moment, just buying on a DEX is hard enough, right?
Yeah.
So the incentive for a developer is, I'm going to create that convenient product that I can package for just normal people to use, like any financial app should be. And it just allows you to basically plug in these things. So, okay, say I want to deposit assets into Aave to earn yield. I don't need the user to buy an asset, then go to Aave, then deposit it into a vault. It's just buy the thing, will also automatically instantly deposit into the yield, and you get that yield streamed back all from the hook. So a developer benefits from being able to add in the fee share or build a really nice product and create value from it.
Amazing. All right, so we got that out of the way. To the 1,185 people tuning in, V4 hooks are definitely the key topic. Guys, 2,000. We need 2,000. Otherwise, my mom will think I'm a failure. And Colby is on. I have to impress my friend Colby from Prism. So, guys, reshare, like it, do whatever, talk shit about me. I don't care. All comments are good. You think my show sucks? Cool. I don't care. Write whatever you want. No, but in all seriousness. All right, so we got that out of the way. V4 hooks, game-changing technology. Yeah. Now let's talk Prism. Okay, so two things. Number one, there was a V1 and now there's a V2, and V2 is what's going on. Talk to me about what happened with V1. I think there was some like exploit or something. You guys rectify it.
Yep.
What happened in V1? How did you fix it? And now how is V2? What did they learn from the V1 failure?
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing has actually been quite a feel-good story in the end. Luckily, I'm glad to be able to say that. I mean, what happened with V1 is a random developer created this. In the end, wasn't so savory of a character, right? He didn't particularly support the original idea he had, but luckily an ecosystem and community formed around it, like us included, right? Like I run a sort of on-chain liquid fund, Aurora Capital and Aurora Labs. We build stuff tied to tokens. And we decided, you know what, we're going to build on this ecosystem. And a bunch of other people did. There's a burgeoning Chinese community backing Prism and the V1 and V2. I mean, it's such a core believers of what this technology can do that have come together. And what happened with V1 is we were gearing up for Spectrum, which is kind of the flagship ecosystem app. That was the beginning of July. Yeah, beginning of July. And a community member one day randomly on a Monday morning, I remember it well because it wasn't a very pleasant day, they reached out and said, hey, I think someone has griefed the fee sharing mechanism. What happened was the pool manager, which is basically where all of the Prism is kept for Uniswap, someone minted fee shares to that pool manager. So all of a sudden, they basically bricked the fee sharing mechanism. And for no real financial benefit, it seems, of all the auditing we did, it just seemed like someone did this to grief the product and project. Yeah. But what we decided, it was a bit of a tough decision. We're not going to sell any of our Prism that we held at Aurora. We were going to create an audit disclosure that we put on GitHub and X, full well knowing that this would obviously tank the price of the Prism V1. What we did before, though, is we took a snapshot of all the holders. What was nice is this was sort of 4 weeks into Prism. So by that point, the distribution was really good. There were a lot of core holders. And we knew, okay, the future was uncertain. We didn't know there was going to be V2, but at least there was a snapshot there before anyone knew this had happened. So that went out there. Obviously, unfortunately, the V1 then just, no one wanted to hold it, rightfully so. But in that time, I mean, the community stepped up. It wasn't us who decided on the V2 because we run a company in Europe and we can't launch our own token. But the Chinese community basically said, hey, we're going to launch a V2. We want to do it properly. And it was a one-to-one claim for all V1 holders, which I think is just a miraculous story in crypto. Never happens. Like no extra tokens minted, no raise, just completely airdropped, a one-to-one that anyone could claim on the Spectrum site, spectrumindexes.xyz. And then all of a sudden the V2 was up. We were able to support and back it because we didn't launch the token, so we could build on it.
Sure.
And now, we're, I don't know, 5 times where we were when the exploit happened. So it's been a feel-good story. And what the lessons have been learned? Well, first of all, V2 was obviously rigorously audited. All of the addresses that needed to be blacklisted for fee sharing got blacklisted, like the pool manager. So only true holders actually earn fees now. And I think the community is stronger than ever. And I think you see that in the activity and the excitement around everything. People genuinely believe in this technology. And if they had plenty of chances to sort of get off the wagon during that time. So now it's just really, core holders and believers.
Yeah, and I think that's actually super rare in this space, right? Especially in a market that, right or wrong, I mean, is just truly jumping from one project to the next, and people literally don't care, which is a rotators market, as like we say
Yeah.
it. But Prism is completely different in the sense of, and maybe it's an ETH thing. I don't necessarily know. No shade on Solana, no shade on Robinhood, but rotating culture is extremely prevalent. ETH is different. It's a different beast, and you can tell the community on Prism really cares about the product. Maybe it's a product of, maybe a smarter mind, more sophisticated investor. I don't necessarily know, but there's no denying the community is top notch. So now, Colby, okay, so V1's done. You learned V2 now. Now, V2, Prism, the mothership. Correct me if I'm wrong when I explain to the audience. Prism is the mothership. And idea is you're going to have hopefully hundreds of applications building under it for the entire benefit of feeding fees into the Prism holders ecosystem. Everything is designed to benefit the 5,000 holders or 5,000 tokens, or maybe it's a little less with burning or whatever. Everything gets distributed. Would you say that's a sufficient analysis?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, realistically, the goal is a little bit of a flywheel. I hate the word flywheel. It's cursed in this space. But, because of the fact that all of the protocol and liquidity, all of those fees get distributed to holders, we thought, okay, this is an incredible builder and ecosystem incentivization mechanism, right? Because if I build on this and build a good product and it drives fee or volume to Prism, that'll drive up the fees that builders and holders can earn every day. And I kind of see it like a bit of a shared venture bet, right? Where I can actually come on board, use all the open source tooling that's been built by us and other people, create my app, plug in these, contracts. And if my app does really well, Prism does really well. But if other people's apps do well, it's a shared, alignment tool. And what our sort of, just to take a step back with Aurora Labs, our goal is to try and create genuinely incredible on-chain powered experiences that just are simple and easy to use. They fulfill they solve the problems that we have as an investment company and as a builder company. And every single app that we're building on it is designed to solve something, whether that's baskets, whether that's portfolio management, whatever it may be. And Prism's at the heart of it. And our KPI or as a community is, drive more volume and drive more fees. And then those fees will bring in more builders and you get, this mothership going with all these different applications. That's kind of the mechanism indeed.
I had to give a shout out to Deboku. Prism, the greatest relaunch in cryptocurrency history. Prism Maxi, exclamation, all capitals. Sir,
Correct.
You win comment of the day. You absolutely win comment of the day. If I had some Prism, I actually got to keep my Prism tight because those are very, very valuable. But maybe I would tip you if I could. But good question. All right. Okay, so we got the mothership. Now let's talk about the flagship product currently on Prism. And again, we are so early that my opinion is there's going to be hundreds of different protocols building, and it's just the beginning. But right now, Spectrum is the focus. Talk to me and talk to the 2,000 plus list viewers. We got over 2,000. Tell us what Spectrum is.
Spectrum is about basket tokens, index tokens, ETF tokens, whatever you want to call them. From a regulatory perspective, I call them basket tokens. But what they do is make it easy to buy multiple assets or sort of, have an asset that's represented by many assets. So it basically uses hooks again. And all of that logic is literally, if I buy this token, it goes out and behind the scenes buys all of those assets on my behalf, puts them in a contract, and then that basket token is priced by all of the assets in the basket. So for the creator, it's incredibly easy. You go on the site, you literally add all of the different assets you want in a basket, you weight them based on the percentages you'd like, and you create this basket token. And anyone can buy it just through a simple DEX swap. And you're actually getting exposure to many different assets at once. That can be an entire, sector like base low caps. It could be DeFi, whatever it may be. And this is Spectrum V1, effectively what's currently out there. And it benefits many people, right? It benefits the creator, like, for example, yourself or whoever it may be, where if you have a genuine knowledge in this space and you're just completely locked in on, interesting things, and you have people who genuinely care about your opinion, well, I'm going to create a basket token that represents everything that I care about. And instead of showing every single ticker and then rotating and people not quite having, well, first of all, it's attention divergence, right? You can just funnel people to a basket token that you genuinely believe is weighted well. They can buy it in an extremely easy one buy of a token, and then they get the exposure that you want them to have. And that's live on Ethereum, Base, and Robinhood. It's like singular chain, but you can go out and create something on ETH. You can go out and create something on Robinhood, and that's across stocks on Robinhood, memes, launch pads, whatever it may be that you want to express in a basket.
So what is now? So that's V1, obviously. Yeah. Individual chains, you can have certain sectors. Basically, as you say, a basket token, but in theory, some people can say it's like an ETF. It's a way to get exposure to different assets. Okay, so we're gonna circle back on that because I want to get into the how. But there's V2 coming. What is V2?
V2 is, again, trying to make everything more convenient, and it's actually a new product and a upgraded product of the current baskets. So you have Spectrum Portfolio, which is this new thing, and it solves a big issue that we have, which is we have many different wallets, we have many different chains, and we have assets that obviously, if you're on chain, you're always buying something new, right? And it's so hard to get that kind of macro overview of your whole portfolio. What are all the assets I own? What's my risk level on chain, right, versus majors? So we built a portfolio system baked into Spectrum where you go, you sign it, you link all your wallets, you see a total overview. And what the magic is, we basically distilled the basket technology into a sort of execution system where I can literally go see my portfolio and completely reweight it and add new assets. And I can buy all of those things in one flow. Right. So say I want to add, this new Robinhood meme, or I want to, increase my exposure to DeFi. I don't need to go and grab every contract address and go to a DEX and do every single step. I just buy the whole thing in one flow, or sell the whole thing, or reweight the whole thing in one flow. And it's a convenient portfolio management system is basically the way to look at it. And the thesis of why to tie it into Spectrum is we believe it's the best way to get the basket asset class, the ETF asset class, off the ground. Because a lot of people, they want the sort of management, the reweighting, but they may be unsure about buying an individual basket token, right? But with the portfolio system, all of a sudden now, with one click of a publish button, you can select the assets that you're really bullish on, create that basket, and then publish it for other people to use. And even you can also just have that basket token in your portfolio, right? So say you do have 12 different assets you want. Well, you can just create a basket token and just buy that instead of all the individual assets. And most importantly, I think from a basket token perspective, the biggest upgrade is it's now a multi-chain flow.
Wow.
So we cannot, from a tech perspective and a security perspective, we can't just go out and create one basket token that lives somewhere on one chain.
Sure.
What it does is underneath the hood, it's creating a basket token on each chain for you. So say I have stocks on Robinhood, AI stuff on Base, DeFi on ETH. It's actually going, okay, well, we'll create the basket token on ETH, on Base, and Robinhood, and we'll buy those assets in the percentages you want.
Sure.
It'll go through the bridging of any gas that you need and bridging any of the, sort of, say you have 10,000 and 5,000 needs to go to ETH. It'll do that in the flow. And then it'll go out and buy those things for you. And then all of a sudden, as a creator, that's even more powerful because no longer do you need, 3 pages with your baskets across chain. Sure. It's just one thing, and it's called a bundle, or at least that's the idea. It'll probably maybe just be called a basket, but on multi-chain. But the idea was how about we just co-opt the word bundle, which has been historically bad, and try and make it a positive thing, where a bundle is just multiple baskets across different chains. And you see it as one chart, you see it as one price. It does say, oh, hey, you are buying 3 tokens, one for each chain, but you just see it as an overall composition on the Spectrum site. And we just think it's extremely powerful. And then the nice thing, again, it all kind of feeds together. So you buy that basket, you see it in your portfolio, you want to publish in the portfolio, you can create a basket. So they kind of work well together.
So as a creator, V2 allows you then to take multiple assets on different chains and bundle it together into one that allows you to create this new bundle that then allows other people to buy it. So say I want a Base low cap meme, Base AI stock, or ETH AI stock, or whatever, in a Robinhood, I don't know, DeFi protocol together. That's capable. Is that currently live right now?
No, that's in the new version. So the new version that's coming out this week is the portfolio system and the new multi-chain basket system.
Colby, I mean,
And again, like it's
when is this
supposed to be
happening? I'm ready. I'm taking notes.
this week.
I'm doing it.
I have all of the contracts are finalized. We're auditing them. We're making sure they're all okay. The front end is buttery in my opinion, as Dom put it from MCG. Like the whole thing is supposed to be convenient and fun and smooth.
Sure.
You see a beautiful bento, you click on an asset, you reweight it with a slider, you see where it goes in your portfolio.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the importance is can't be understated enough. From a creator's point of view, you're earning fees, and that's great. But I think people don't realize this is a very much needed service. Creating creating a basket per se is extremely important for you, for me, for people, because we live in a very fragmented attention economy and things move so fast, so fast. There are so many times that people want exposure, but A, they don't have money. B, they're not fast enough. C, they don't have knowledge. What if you can create, based on whatever sector, individual picks that you think can do very well and allow people to access them so they don't have to be staring at their chart every single day? They could just like, all right, I trust this guy's thing. I like it. I like his thesis. We'll let it have, and you have exposure. So, Colby, talk to me real quick then of the mechanisms. I know we have to wrap things up. So if I'm creating this, is it really purchasing then, like, say Prism's in this thing, in this basket, and say, like, how does it work? If someone is buying into the basket, are they actually then buying into this, and then this basket's actually buying something else from the real market and taking it, or is it just tracking price? How does it work like that?
Yeah, that's why this is so important, is because it does positively impact every asset underlying it. So it's not a synthetic asset. It's literally one of the coolest thing with the V1 when we were testing was we had 8 different base assets across the ecosystem. You buy $100 and you just see all of a sudden on all of the deck screener charts, those buys go through for every single project.
Wow.
So it's a rising, tide lifts all boats kind of effect. Where all of a sudden, I mean, our hope is you take, I don't know, a basket from 1 million to 10 million market cap, and the whole thing gets dragged up with genuinely good products. So yeah, like, no, for sure. It basically what it's doing is it's just taking that money, it's creating the basket token, and it's going out and buying all of those individual stuff in the weights that you desire as a creator, putting them onto the smart contract, right? So you can even actually migrate in kind if you wish. Like you could actually redeem for all the individual assets should you want to. That's also a part of the sort of safety feature of it. If anything was to happen, you can always, in kind redeem the assets. Yeah. And, there's how Prism benefits from this is there's a fee structure. So on the portfolio, there's a 0.5%, 0.5%. And with the baskets, the really cool thing is there's a waterfall fee model. So there's 0.1% goes to Prism, and the rest is split between the front end operator of Spectrum. Again, anyone can run a site, the creator, and the holders of the basket token as well. So if you really hold one of these basket tokens for a long time, you're earning fees every time someone's buying and selling that basket token.
That's incredible. Just for participating in this basket for your own gain, for your own, portfolio hopes, you're actually earning fees itself. That's actually insanely game changer. That's only possible through the V4 hooks that are implemented with Prism. And again, at the end of the day, everything benefits Prism holders. This is just one application. I've said it. I know you probably can't say anything. It doesn't matter. I believe this is the Wi-Fi of this cycle. I believe this is the perfect. And again, nothing I say is financial advice, people. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm a boomer with gray hair. But I believe this has the best odds of actually achieving those type of goals because of the aligned incentives that have never been done before. Colby, I need you to tell me when this V2 is out. I am going to create a basket. I have a couple ideas in mind, and I think I'm super excited to experiment. You guys are going to be stuck with me. I'm going to be literally just speaking on my show about it.
Yeah.
People are going to be hurt. People are like, Bill, stop, enough. Prism, yes, your basket's awesome. But listen, Colby, any last words you have for the 3,189 people live late night on chain?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd say if you're really excited about new novel tech, I think Prism is the mothership for that innovation. We're always going to be experimenting. We're always going to be bringing in new things that we think are a net good for people in the space and outside the space. It's not just meant for people within our bubble. It's meant for stuff that we can actually, give to regular people and make them actually, be able to use on-chain applications in an easy way. So if you're interested in that, jump on board. If you're a builder, there's literally millions of lines of on-chain code there as well. So yeah.
Amazing. Colby, my friend, thank you for coming on. We're going to have multiple clips made for this episode. We're going to put it on Spotify. We'll tag you. More people around the world are going to know about Prism. I'm so bullish on you, and thank you again for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Bill.
All right. That is Colby from Prism. I am a Prism bull, baby. I am a bull. Capital BULL Prism bull. I love it. I love it. I love the project. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just, like I said, opinions. It is my conviction bag this cycle. And again, you have to understand, and we're going to bring up Matthew on from Switchboard in 1 second, but you have to understand this is the first time where everyone participates, wins. Align incentives. This product is very much needed. The ETFs, and that's just one aspect. Spectrum is just one application. I believe there's going to be hundreds of applications that sit below the mothership. And you have to understand, as the price of Prism rises, everything is benefiting these holders. If you're around the 2021 cycle, it's a different beast when you have a low flow coin and the people who own it. I'm not saying, I think everyone, it would be a good goal to own at least one. But as it rises, the mind share rises. And the people who enter into these projects aren't like your standard meme coin trader who's going to market dump on you. A little bit more sophisticated investors who actually want to push this space forward. And I think you're going to see some of the smartest minds build on this ecosystem because they want to tap into that network. If you're in a network, look at the Bored Apes. They're not CryptoPunks community, for instance. That community is some of the most quote unquote elite people. People want to be in that network because networking, whatever. I think you're going to see that same thing with Spectrum and Prism action. Anyways, super bullish. I don't know. DYOR. I see some people saying about TA fund, 70K kids. I actually don't know much about it. I don't know if that's Trump's thing. But very interested to know. Someone show me. I really don't know anything about it. But shout out to I think it's on Pawns. So shout out to the Pawns family. I've had Ozzy on before, and shout out to him. Man, he's a beast. But anyways, neither here, neither there. It's time for our next guest, and we're excited. Like I said, this episode is brought to you by Easy A Kickstarter, and Easy A is the place where you build first. If you want to be on Solana, you go to Easy A, and one of the projects from Easy Wave is Switchboard. So we're gonna bring up Matthew on in 3, in 2, and 1. Welcome to the show, Matthew from Switchboard. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you for the invite. Yeah, pretty crazy explanation what Prism is this because I was never heard about this project to be honest, and it's really impressive how people could think from this perspective. And I need to study more, definitely.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. I mean, they're an ETH project, and I think the mind share is starting to wake up, and I think it's only going to go bigger and bigger. So I'm very bullish on that. But enough about them. We want to talk about Easy. We want to talk about Switchboard. So why don't we start? We have a good audience today. Again, shout out to the 3,600 people tuning in. Let's start with the basics, man. What exactly is Switchboard?
So I would say that this idea of building the switchboard comes during the fishing session with my friends in real life, I mean. And we were talking about like how much we are spending for inference for different language models and how we tired to switch between the models inside Claude or ChatGPT or something similar. And I was thinking like, but why the heck nobody builds some kind of inference that goes through one model and given a I don't know how to say, given a target, which model should aggregate your prompt? And like, okay, and I was starting to study about this and found Open Router, which provides all the elements with one API key. And I was thinking, okay, that makes sense. So what does it mean? What a switchboard is? Imagine you don't need to switch between the models. You just enter in the prompt. One model will decide which model will aggregate your prompt, and it goes to it as an auction. So what's the benefits for those who are using Switchboard? You are saving tons of money on credits. And the most beautiful part, like your show, it's called Late Night on Chain, that it's all verifiable and trackable on chain.
Interesting. Real quick, I see some comments in here. For those that are in TA, please have the team reach out to me. I always like to talk to builders. Seems like a lot of people are interested in that. But okay, so when did you guys? Because again, AI, inference, cost, these are all things that only that are actually critical because costs can get very, very
Yeah.
expensive. At what point did you guys realize? Because again, you can have this idea, but building in crypto and dedicating it's a whole different beast. What moment did you think like, all right, I'm going to start building this because what caused you to build it? You identified the problem, you saw it with your friends. Well, why build? Why do something about it? What is driving you to build Switchboard?
It's all about the distribution channels because it's more complicated to have a pure Web2 B2B product listed on, I don't know, U Combinator or something similar. And exactly in the same moment, I don't know, maybe it's a God blessing. I started EZA Kickstart and I was thinking, okay, I need to give a shot for this. And the way how it goes with the community support with Dom and Phil and solely the whole team supporting with some kind of advice and etc. And I was thinking, okay, this is the place I want to stay in. So yeah, I'm just was shocked. I've been in crypto for the last 5 years as employee, as CMO, on the last position, etc. And I never saw some such kind of community that supports you from advices perspective, from roadmap and etc. Like I can chat with everyone and they will give me advices how to make Switchboard better.
For sure. Now, talk to me about community because as a builder, as a dev, the idea is one thing, but when you have a token involved, then there's the other aligned interest to make sure that the community feels, heard, whatever. You obviously can't predict number go up or anything, but
Absolutely.
feeling, showing the community support, whatever is important. What's your community like? Because again, at the end of the day, you can have the best project ever, but you need supporters, you need a brand evangelist. What is the Switchboard community like day to day?
I was building a community really for the last 5 years and ambassador programs and etc. And I understand this pain point when people started to chat and when you will have a product, when you will have this and this and this. And I decided when we started to discuss how to build a proper product and then goes to community, I decided like we will not have any kind of community except the green room chat that was created by EZA founders. At this point, we need to focus on product first, on distribution, deliver some kind of features, and then we will work with community. And this is exactly the moment when I came back from my vacation. I was thinking that, yeah, one more feature that we are working on, it was a sneak peek on our X that we are working on mobile application. And yeah, I think this is the great time to start building your own community and ambassador programs. And I will share a lot of alpha on your late night on chain space.
Oh yeah, please. We love it when you share. All right, so you're back from vacation. You're focusing on how do you see Switchboard evolving from here? Like, what is the next? 1 to 2 months in crypto is truly like a year in the real world. Focuses need to be directed on certain things. What is the utmost importance for you guys in the next 1 to 2 months that you are just locked in on?
We talk a lot about this today, about our future roadmap, because I literally hate this word roadmap. You're framing yourself as a company with your team that you need to do this, this, and this. And you mentioned absolutely correct that 2 months in crypto, it's like 1 year in real life. It's changing literally every day. In 2024, who was bullish on RWA? Nobody. And I'm also like bullish on this stuff. I'm bullish on AI, and I see the metrics and inference invoices that companies are paying approximately. And I was thinking like, okay, this is the best product market fit in the current cycle from my perspective. Where I see Switchboard in 2 months, we have live application listed on App Store. People are using it. People are paying for subscription because you know that it's illegally to involve some kind of crypto stuff in App Store. So we created some kind of model that purchasing token underneath, going through the burn mechanism, etc. And more focus on B2B side.
Interesting. I think that not calling it a roadmap, you don't need to like pigeonhole yourself. I agree on that part. But having plan, basically just having the direction and plan of where you see things going, and especially in this wild world that we call
Yeah.
crypto. So, Matt, let me ask you this then: what is success to you? So, if everything goes according to plan, you have the ideas that you have for Switchboard, and you just lock in and you achieve it. What is that? That North Star. What is that thing that defines success for Switchboard? Is it certain market cap? Is it certain achievements in the world, technological shifts? What success look like to you?
I wouldn't think from the market cap perspective, because token has 100% of utility. You need to deposit your tokens on the Switchboard app. Then when you type in a prompt, it's calculate how much it will cost for you, and then you see the results. So it's not I understand that crypto, and this is one of the reasons why people starting to support us from this perspective. It's a speculative perspective. Like, they don't care about the product, and absolutely okay. But for me, I'm more passionate with product usage. And answering your question, the North Star will be if we burn 90% of supply, because 60% of spendings from users going straightly to hell.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean that is an interesting and defining North Star. What before we kind of wrap it up, because again, one of the things we like to do on the show is get to know the founders, because again, at the end of the day, the the big component of any project is actually who's behind it. We live in an AI world where anyone can build things, but the people who show up on shows like this, it goes a long way. Matthew, talk to me about, as a founder, what have been some of the highs and lows for you? Because not everything is success in building a project, building a community. There's a lot of things that go wrong. What have been some of the struggles that you faced that, as a founder, that you may have not foreseen coming?
I need to say that I'm truly apologize about the community that was missing me during my vacation. But let's be honest, before vacation, we have a lot of tasks, a lot of calls that I decide to give to my partner, the operational manager, and he wasn't ready for such amount of tasks. So they didn't deliver what we've agreed before, but it's pretty okay. He get a lot of experience how to manage developers, graphic designers, copywriters, and etc. But it's pretty fun. So I love to not to control. I love to participate in absolutely everything that happens inside the company, inside our not a company probably. But I hate when you give pretty straight instructions what people need to do during my absence. And when I come back, I say, oh gosh, guys, what was the problem? Like, think outside the box. But literally, we are going in a good way. So, yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. So we have 3,800 people tuning in. My friend Matthew, any last words that you have for them and the Switchboard community, or the random people who have just heard about you for the first time?
Subscribe to Bill Late Night on Chain stream. This is the first one and the most important one. The second one, check out the Switchboard. A lot of stuff to come in. As I told that we will have App Store app, so you will have the cheapest language models that will serve you with the cheapest way. The third one, some kind of full redesign of the website is coming. And the fourth one, we didn't talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it yet. But little sneak peek for the community. Pitch deck is ready for 90%. So do your own research. What does it mean? But
very cool. All right. Well, listen, Matthew, we appreciate you. Our team will have a couple clips made for you from the show. We'll tag you, share it,
absolutely.
and let the world know more about Switcher. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Bill. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That is Matthew from Switchboard. Very cool. All right. Listen, in the audience here, I respect bag workers. My goodness, you guys know how to work for your bags. So you guys are talking about a project called TA. I don't know zero things about it. The only thing I knew about TA was it's on Pawns, and randomly it just like exploded one day, and I was like, "What the hell is this? Is this a Trump coin, charity coin? I don't know." And judging by the comments, it has nothing to do with Trump. It seems like, but it seems like, a lot of you guys like it. Now, number two, the devs here. Hello, dev, Tomik.soul. I don't know who you are, but it seems people love you, and I love that. I can't just bring you in because what else would I talk to you about? Hi, I like to, we do things a little professional. I like to learn about your project and ask you good questions. But I do want you on just because you seem like the real deal. Your community is insane in a good way. I like that. So please hit me up. Let's schedule a proper thing because I want to ask good questions. I don't know what to talk to you about, but I want to see what this is about, though. We're doing a little impromptu TA thing. All right. What is the X handle? Can someone write that in the comments what the X handle is? TA. Yeah. I want to look it up real quick while we're on air. No, I don't know who Tonic is, sir. So I would love to have him on, but I need to know what your project's about. Okay, you know what? You can do a quick intro. All right, how about that? How about that? I want you on properly, but why don't I get you on for a couple minutes and you can shill me? Why don't we do that? You know what? Let's try that. How do we do this? Can you send me a DM? Send me a DM, Tomic. My handle is late night on chain. Send me this. I'll send you the link to this room. It's kind of fun. Tomic, if you're listening to this, no, not that one. It's late night on chain. Send me a message. Let's see. While I do that, and I'll send you a link to the show, and you can show me. All right, TA fun. Let's share this. Send you a DM. All right, if you sent me a DM, let me just get this on. I actually never do this, guys, but that just shows you guys are legit community. All right, awesome, Tomic. Accept. Hey there. All right, Tomic. I just sent you the the invite. So check your email. And why don't you come show me, bro? Why don't you come show me? So yeah, invite's been sent to Tomic. Please check your message. And when you do click on here, but yeah, anyways, like I said, we'll have a proper interview with him set up, but I want to hear what the speech is. Up to you, Tomic. Doesn't matter if you want cam on. You can be off, put an avatar. All good, sir. All good. Let Tomic in. Crypto guy, you got your wish. Crypto guy, you got your wish. All right, Nick, what are you saying? Goal is to use fees from crypto to fund young Americans' accounts. Not only are they funding, they're also educating and teaching them support. I like that mission. So how does it work, though? Is it like from fees, you just like who's the one who decides to distribute money to? Because I know with like Trump's thing, all eligible kids are on an app are given money or something. And again, I don't know why I equate this with Trump's thing. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But yeah, I want to learn. Okay, there he is. Let's get to it, man. The one, the only. Tomic Soul. Hello, sir. Pleasure to meet you impromptu.
Hello, nice to meet you. So actually, I'm just in the middle of work because I also have a startup and hedge fund. But started working on this project because I see the vision, and few friends hit me up that this project can be pretty interesting. So just quick introduction about the project. TA Fund is about that we launch on pawns, we collect fees from the trading, and we donate all of that to kids to Trump accounts, which can submit into our drawing system to be winners on our website. And basically what we have, what are we working on right now is also education mobile app. We already have a preview demo on interactive demo on our website, so you can try it out. Also, right now we are planning a lot of partnerships because I have good connections in World Liberty of Finance and with some politicians. So we want to take basically this project on more company startup level than just a meme coin. And also, we are creating non-profit organization, so it will be fully official. Whole team is basically doxed, so we will be also signed under the company, and basically all the donations later on will go through the company. For now, all the drawing on blockchain is fully verifiable. It's fully automated. The only part which is not automated yet is the bank accounts, because to automate the bank accounts, you need a company basically. So we are just waiting to our file for creating the company to be approved.
Wow.
So to summarize it, we will have fully working company. We will have a working mobile app. Also in the mobile app, you will be able to authorize your socials, so your Facebook, your TikTok account, your Instagram, and X. And whenever you post anything like connected to us with our hashtag or with our handle, you will earn points and have higher chance to be drawn, plus get some more benefits. And also when you interact with our socials, you will get points which you can like earn in our app, basically.
Wow. That's okay. A couple of things. Number one, we need to schedule you to come on the show. I'm somebody who is interested in a lot of things, and this is very, very interesting to me. So let's do that. Let's try to set up sometime like a proper show card, everything, get the community, because I have a lot of questions about this. Number two, so yeah, let's do that next week. I'll hit you
Yeah,
up.
sure.
Number two, this is interesting to me because crypto people, we all want to go mainstream. We all want people to learn about our little crazy ecosystem. And the tools that are now provided on Robinhood kind of allow it, but it seems to me that you guys are going one step further, because the charity component with the taxes and the education component, that actually can affect real people in life. And I believe you are onto something, because is it true? Last question to you, because we do have to go. Is it true that you guys have donated, someone said 100K to kids?
There was actually before, there was one project which we basically like CTO'd, but because it was on Pons V1, we weren't able to claim the CTO. That project donated 50K. And right now on the new project, because we need to relaunch it, because basically the fees were frozen by the original dev, because the smart contract of Pons V1 doesn't allow to change the dev wallet. So we relaunched, and on the relaunch token, we donated already 20K plus 80K is in our treasury. So that 80K will go into the donations as well. But just to like clarify, basically what we want to do, we want to push the narrative more of the TA fund as a company than only the tokens, because I have a lot of experience with pushes like this. Because politicians and all those like most influential people, they are not allowed to basically interact with anything related to meme coins or tokens like this, but they are allowed to interact with our company, with the nonprofit. And when we get like, we don't push anyone to buy our token, to talk about the token, but the mechanism is simple. Like everybody will understand the mechanism when they dig deeper into it. But on the floor, we will look more like a nonprofit. And also another thing which extremely benefits us, because Robinhood is a main, because Trump account funds basically works that you invest instead of basic bank account, you invest into low index stocks. So for example, like low cost indexes. So it's basically like S&P 500, and they have average return like 10%. And what I want to say is the Trump accounts is basically like really interesting invention in terms of investing and in terms of potential of growth, like the children's accounts by the age of 18 when they are able to withdraw. And Trump wants to take as much credit for it as possible. So it's super talked through thing in the media. Plus Robinhood is the provider of those stock indexes. So Robinhood puts it in every earning, every major post because they want to also pat on their back by the whole narrative that they are part of it, basically. So the exposure is pretty big.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't have to sell me. I see a vision. Honestly, this is literally the first time I've actually kind of done a deep dive. So listen, next week we're gonna set it up. Your community is literally insanely good. Shout out to the community for getting you on. I never do this, by the way, like just randomly getting someone on. So shout out to to them. But listen, man, let's do it next week. We'll dive deep. I want to know more. We have almost 4,000 people. I'm sure they want to know more. So let's set that up. But good to meet you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation. I definitely accept it, and we will do a proper interview with even a face cam. And
Okay.
feel free to check out our Telegram. We basically, this week is like a pushing week of everyday like major update. Yesterday we did the preview demo of a mobile, so feel free to catch up with our socials on X, TAs _fund, and yeah, keep up with the updates, learn about the project, and hopefully see you next week.
Absolutely, my friend. All right, brother. All right, listen. Super good. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the community. My goodness, you guys are the TA. I speak to a lot of people. Speak to a ton of devs. Speak to a ton of communities. It's what I do. I will say, the TA community, whoever's showing up, you guys are like S tier. S tier. They say bag working doesn't work. Hell no, it works. You guys applaud. Now I'm interested. I am literally interested because of you guys, the community, literally. And so shout out to you guys. If you guys haven't followed me, please do. I want to speak more. I will do reaction videos. I'm really going to check you guys out. So yeah, if you haven't followed me already, please do. And we'll get more content out there for TA. So I'm excited for that. Excited for Atomic's talk next week. Very well articulate. I can see why you guys like him. So I look forward to that. All right, listen, guys, we're out though. We do this Monday through Thursday, noon PST, literally every day, except Fridays because your boy needs a day off. They don't pay him enough for a Friday show. Fuck that. Only Monday through Thursday. So catch me tomorrow. Catch me next week with the TA team. Catch me next. We always do some cool shit. So that's what we do on Late Night Unchained. All right, guys. Until next time, peace.